Whoa, jingle! Happy time has just begun. Brother, sister, smart, dumb, fun. Yeah!
Boom! It's you and I, Ed Brothers, live on a Sunday. We are listening to the Ballad of the Brothers Sisters, written, produced, and executed by the amazing Max Caselli. In case you forgot who our music man is, it's Max Caselli.
Thanks, Max. He's getting married
Thank
next
you, Max.
month.
Max is getting married next month?
He is.
Dude, is it? I can't believe it's that time already.
I know. He's getting married. We're going next month.
I knew he was getting hitched. I just didn't realize it was like right the F now.
Yeah, it's
There you
like it's like literally a month from this weekend. So, or maybe
yeah.
next weekend. A month from next weekend. So, yeah, they got like 5 weeks.
Okay.
Mhm.
Nice. And quick question for you.
Mhm.
Did we somehow time warp into October or something? Because if you happen to be outside today, you might have noticed that it is delightfully cool outside.
It is a gorgeous, gorgeous day. Duncan and I went for a hike. We found our next awesome cheeseburger place, which also serves ice cream.
I love that. Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's
in
amazeballs.
Jackson. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was and then I put my laundry outside to dry today. So I went and I like pulled all the laundry off and folded it outside. I was like, and then I read for a little bit. I was like, this is amazing. This is amazing. I'm like, I almost like can't do the show, Jenny, sitting outside.
I understand because I
Mhm.
didn't want to do anything I was supposed to do. I went to school today to work because tomorrow's the first day of school with students. So it's like, got to
Yeah.
do stuff, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
And I was like, I don't want to do any of this today. I don't want to be in here. I don't want to do the fantasy draft at 3:00. I don't want to do my show today. I just want to stand out here and let the breeze wash over my face.
Exactly.
Because I think it's been a fairly hot and humid summer this year. I don't know.
It has been.
I feel like it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's been hot and unpleasant. And so the fact that it wasn't today was just like, because it was, even warm and humid yesterday. So it was just really,
It was humid yesterday. It wasn't too hot, but it was humid.
No.
We went to the Chelsea Community Fair yesterday. So, and it rained while we were standing in line for corn dogs and French fries. So, it wasn't too hot, but just bumped up the humidity a little bit. And I have to, Chelsea Community Fair. Jenny and I are used to the St. Joseph County Fair, which is a big deal county fair. And I got to say, people in Chelsea, you really, really have to bring up your exhibit game because, man, unless you were making a quilt or some crochet thing, the standard was very low. I was like, oh, next year I need
makes me
to.
sad.
I know. It's like next year I need to enter a bunch of stuff, win this shit.
Do. Yeah, you should enter all of them now because we're spoiled at because not only have we seen the St. Joe County Fair in its heyday, but we've also seen the Minnesota State Fair, which, as far as I'm concerned, is the holy grail of all fairs. And if you want to see some serious displays of stuff, Minnesota State Fair.
Yeah, it's instead of like being an exhibit place, it's more like an art gallery at the Minnesota State Fair.
I feel like we should go and talk about the Minnesota State Fair, Ann. I feel
well,
like
last time we went, you said that was the last time you were going.
I know, but you know what?
See, you're like, I could really use some Australian potatoes, which just means slab of fried potatoes with an Australian flag on top, and I think some sort of cheese dip.
All I know is, hang on, I gotta look this up real quick because I can never remember the name of it. So. Okay, so like I was looking at okay, there it is. I was looking at the Facebook today, and somebody just posted two buckets with like a lid on them. Yes, and it was like you didn't even need to know what it was. It was like that's Sweet Martha's. Those are Sweet Martha's cookies, and yes, yeah, because
they're served in a bucket. People, literally, Americans eat food out of buckets like pigs and cows.
Yes, but it's not grain. It's cookies. It's chocolate chip cookies, and
Worst
they're the
thing
best.
that happened to America besides food in a bucket and slavery. So
Yeah, and here's the thing. You can get the small, which is like a giant cup of cookies, but then you're
Mhm.
like, for only like $4 more, you can get this bucket of cookies. And it
Bucket.
comes with a lid so you can take it home or not. It's up to you, you
You know,
know.
the funny thing is you can't get the lid on until I'm not exaggerating. You can't get the lid on until you've eaten at least 20 cookies. I am not exaggerating, people. I mean, it's not like the cookies are the size of your head. They're like, I don't want to say little cookies, but they're on the smaller side, but you still have to eat 20 of them before you can get the lid on. And there's like another 100 cookies in the bucket. And you're like,
My favorite part is when they ask you if
$20
you
for a
want the
bucket of
lid.
cookies? Yes, I'm in.
Oh, like I said, they actually ask you if you want the lid because I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna eat all these right now. I'm like, as if you would actually take them home later. So
Exactly.
yeah, it's just and that's what I consider Sweet Martha's to be like one of the great wonders of the world because
Mhm,
you talk about a place that just has production down. I'm like, there'll be
mhm.
this huge long line, and you don't spend more than 5 minutes in that line. They get
Oh,
it moving.
yeah. Yeah. And they
Yeah.
just assume you want the bucket. And there's
Yes.
constantly warm. Our cookies were still warm,
Yeah. Oh
constantly
yeah.
hot cookies coming out of the oven. And the thing is, you're like,
Yes.
oh, well, you get a bucket and you share it with the family. I'm not exaggerating. Every family we walked by, each person had their own bucket. Yeah.
God bless the Minnesota State Fair. Yeah, that's one of the highlights of this. And there are it's amazing. You really can't do it all in one day. If you're
Mm-mm.
gonna eat your way through the fair, you need 3 days. No,
Mhm.
you need 4 days
Yeah.
because there's so much. Because we were there for a full day. We stayed from port to stern,
Mhm.
full day, and tried as much stuff as we could possibly try.
Man,
And it
we
was
tried so much food. And then we took Duncan
yes.
and Joe one year, and
Hmm.
Duncan was just amazed that he could walk around the entire fair with a glass of beer the entire time. It's like he didn't have to stay in a tent. There wasn't a
Mm-mm.
designated area. He could go wherever he wanted with 2 beers if he wanted it. And just like, oh, my glass is empty. I bought some sort of drink that came in a hollowed out pineapple. I said, and when you see people going like, I want that. Where did you get? Because you can only buy everything in one place. It's not like you can
Mm.
buy everything is individualized. So if you want cotton candy, you got to go to the cotton candy people. You want a bucket of cookies, you got to go to the bucket of people cookies people. If you want corn dog, you got to go to Pronto Pup.
Prom Pup. So yeah, because Prom Pup's not technically not a corn dog. It's a Pronto Pup.
It's a Pronto Pup.
Pronto Pup. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you can't just if
Don't
you
go
want
calling a Pronto Pup a corn dog. You're gonna get
no.
smacked in the head. Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you want the Swedish coffee, you got to go to the Swedish coffee place. You want the Swedish waffles, you got to go to the Swedish waffle place.
Which are
So
delicious.
they are delicious. They are delicious. So there was just like, yeah. So if you see somebody walking by with something you want, you have to ask them where to get it because it's not like you can stumble upon it, like the Australian fries.
Which are again, it's basically just these yummy fries with cheese and bacon on them, but it's somehow better than just regular fries with
Yeah,
cheese and bacon on them because it
yes.
comes with an Australian flag.
I worked with
Details
somebody.
Matter.
Yeah,
Details
I worked
matter.
with somebody who also lived in Minnesota. She's like, "Oh, those disgusting Australian fries." I'm like, oh, I loved those.
Oh, those were delicious.
I was like, what do you mean disgusting? I thought they were
Let us
amazing.
agree to disagree on the Australian
Exactly.
fries. So
Exactly.
your trash is my cash. All right, here we
Mhm.
go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that
and
really
we might have to have a show, which means I'm gonna have to miss school because the state fair runs from now until Labor Day. So it's already been going for like, I don't know, probably I think it opened up last Thursday.
oh
So,
well, yeah, Jenny, we should probably plan that for next year, a trip to the state fair. I'm innocent. When you said you weren't going to do that again, and I was like, but it was so fun to eat everything.
I say things like that, and then I was like, oh, I can't stay away.
I can't
How
stay
can
away.
I
I
stay
love
away
it.
at
We'll
you?
pick another rainy day. The rainy days are best to go. You just put on your boots, put on your plastic bag. You walk around. There's only 5,000 people instead of 25,000 people. So
You're way off. That one day that we went, the first time we went, by the end of the day, there were 250,000 people that rolled through that. I'm sure of
yeah,
it. Yeah, they were
yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
it was something like obscene number. It was over 200,000 people.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's ridiculous how many people go to the state fair because it's pretty outstanding.
it is.
Yeah, there's so much to see there. Okay.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Yeah.
what were we talking about this week? Oh, that's right. We're talking about the amazing axolotl At last.
Exactly.
By the way, Ann, I'm wearing one of 3 Axolotl t-shirts that I own. This one says, I Axolotl questions. Oh, look at you wearing your Axolotl earrings.
Axolotl
Nice.
earrings. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yes, excellent. So,
Hmm.
so yeah, let's bring this baby up and let's talk about some axolotls.
Axolotl.
Boop. There it is.
Hmm.
And if it's all the same to you, I'm going to go ahead and take the welcome this week.
You certainly should.
So, okay, good. I'm going to do that. I'm going to take that off first. Okay, here we go. Hi, everyone. Now that we're done for now talking about the Minnesota State Fair,
Mhm.
we are Ann and Janice brothers, and we are sisters with the last name of brothers. It's magic, but we are. It is not magic, but we are magical.
Exactly.
It's true. That's true. I
Mhm.
have the one magic trick that I do. There it is. Watch. Look, it just happened. Oh, it happened again. I know. That's my one magic trick, and it's magical. All right.
And it's magical.
We are in our 50s, which means we're Gen X, which means that we had collections of songs we taped from the radio. Yes, Ann Brothers, nicely done. Yes, so you had you were listening to U93 out of South Bend, and you had your blank tape in the thing, and you would just basically hover around the radio because you knew eventually they were going to play Mr. Roboto, and when that happened, you needed to be ready to hit the record button to record
Exactly.
from the radio.
Or
Yes.
Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Any Michael Jackson song at the time.
Yes. Oh yeah. God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. Those are the
Mm-hmm.
things that we did because we loved music so much.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, and so as far as radio stations in Sturgis, Michigan, the best radio station, the only radio station that really mattered was
Mhm.
U93 out of South Bend. So
Exactly.
there you
Yeah,
go.
and South Bend, Indiana, in case you're not familiar,
Mhm.
Jenny and I grew up on the in Michigan, but only 3 miles from the Indiana border. So we weren't we weren't in Michigan. A lot of people are like, they remember like stuff that happened on Detroit media. And we didn't get a lot of Detroit media. We got a lot of stuff out of Indiana. So South Bend, Indiana was the music station we listened to because the nearest music station was Kalamazoo or South Bend. There was
South
one in
Bend.
Sturgis, but they played oldies, so we were not close.
Yes. And there was one in Three Rivers, but for some reason WKLM out of Three Rivers, but for some reason they were hit or miss in terms of they were just far enough away where they didn't have a great signal. So
Yeah, they didn't have they weren't sending out a big signal, so you could get them like late at night, but yeah, it was hit or miss. Mm-hmm.
And yes, we grew up in a region of the world known as Michiana.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, awesome. Well, and it was especially fun too because when we were growing up, at that time, Indiana did not recognize daylight savings time. So here we were 3 miles from the Indiana border, and it would be 8 o'clock in Michigan and 7 o'clock in Indiana. So because they did not spring forward. So you're like, they had this really great ice cream joint in Howe, Indiana. And you'd be like, oh no, the ice cream joint is closed. And then you'd be like, no, it's not, because there's still an hour to go down there. So then you could run down and get some, later night ice cream in Howe,
Exactly.
Indiana. So
I
know.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I know.
So as you can see, we talk about smart stuff, dumb stuff, or fun stuff on our show, or any combination of the three. You should know that we are not cool, hip, or sexy. There's a lot of podcasts out there from like famous people who are cool, hip, and or sexy. We know we are not cool, hip, or sexy. We know this because we know the difference between a good and a bad corn dog. Oh, yes, we do.
Mhm.
Yes,
Mhm.
we do.
Exactly.
And tell me about your corn dog experience at the Chelsea Fair.
It was anemic. It was anemic. The stick went too far up in the hot dog, so literally after the second bite, you got stick, and they were kind of like flaccid, which nobody wants to hear when you talk about food. And then it was the last day, so there was like 2 pumps of mustard left, and then it was done. I was like, so I got the last 2 pumps of mustard, and you know me, I like a lot of mustard on my corn dog. And then it started raining, which made the corn dog even more like, oh.
Yeah, there are things that I could live with.
I still ate the whole thing.
Oh, heck yeah, you did, because you're at a fair. You're going to eat that.
Exactly.
Yeah, there are places that you go when you know a fair, you know where to go for corn dog. because a corn dog should be a good sized dog. The stick has to be placed just right so you don't hit stick till about your like maybe your second to last bite. It should be crispy on the outside, and you should be able, the corn stuff that they dip it in should be flavorful and yummy. There should be a little snap to the dog. It should be a little crispy on the outside and golden brown on the inside. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
Well,
me a good corn dog.
You know, and the thing is, the Chelsea Community Fair is a tiny little fair, so there was only one place selling corn dogs. So what you got is what you got. This is the place that sells corn dogs and fries. This is the place that sells hamburgers and pizza.
Ew.
I know, too many, too many people take their Gen Zers and their, what is the next group coming up? The Alpha
The
Omegas.
Alphas? Yeah.
Yeah.
Alpha. Yeah. Okay.
And they're all used to chicken fingers and mini tacos, so they don't know how to eat anything else.
Yes, we are making fun of you. And they're like, you Gen Xers are like old and tired. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
I still know
but we're
what good
super
fair
mean.
food is.
Yeah, we're super mean. So you want to get into it?
So come at me. Come at me, kid. Let's go.
Let's go. Make you cry.
I just kind of feel like I have nothing to lose.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm pretty sure aren't we supposed to be the first generation that's not going to outlive our parents?
I believe so. We're not going to make as much money as our parents or outlive them. So we're the first generation.
We don't feel like, we don't really feel like we have a lot to lose. So that's fine. Yeah. Come
Let's
get
go.
me.
I'm not afraid to hurt myself to hurt other people. So
no, I'm good at that. Here we go. Let's go. All right. So yeah, good corn dog, bad corn dog. Yeah, sexy people don't eat corn dogs, so they would never know. They would think that that the corn dog you had at the Chelsea Fair was good, and they don't even know.
Or they would just think they were all bad.
They would probably just be as horrified. They would be horrified regardless of corn dog. So
exactly.
Okay, yeah, I get that. All right, so we are not a true crime, a celebrity, or an influencer podcast. We are the Country Fair of podcasts. Flash and fun, but things we learn when you we're flashy and we're fun, but we also help you learn things like you do in the exhibit barns at a fair. So there you go. I like what you've done there, Ann Brothers. That's well written. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So fun fact. Okay. I'm going to take a quick aside. I was at my massage therapist yesterday. By the way, that's Embody Healing Collective here in Kalamazoo. Great place. You should definitely go there. I think they're still taking clients, but they're very popular, so it's hard to get in. But Quinn, my massage therapist, has a new chair, and I was admiring her new chair. And what was smack dab in the middle of her chair was a latch key or a latch hook pillow that her aunt had made back in the day. So not only was it a latch hook, it was vintage, and this is the best part. It was multi-layered, so it had different lengths of thread in it. So it was like, because there was like little mushrooms on it, so the little stems of the mushroom had longer. I was like, oh my gosh, that's a good one.
Wow. Talk about form and function, Jenny Brothers. Damn.
Form and function. I couldn't take my eyes off it. I'm like, that's glorious. So,
it is glorious.
Awesome. So,
I'd like to meet her aunt.
So, and the only reason I say that is because, any good county fair is going to have a latch hook exhibit. So
exactly.
Wait, was there any latch hook at the
No,
Chelsea
which
Fair?
made me sad. And I remember Mom saying that latch hook wasn't like acceptable. She's like, oh, you don't really do anything. It's not, it's not like acceptable to. I was like, oh, but I like it.
I like it because it looks cool. And yesterday's looked the coolest. It was one of the coolest things ever. I think she would have gotten an A on that at the St. Joe County Fair. So
yeah, I think she would have gotten a blue ribbon.
Totes, for sure. Okay. So I would agree that we are the county fair of podcasts. So yes, flashy, fun, educational, all at the same time.
All at the same time.
We've been told that we are good to listen to when you want to learn things about stuff. And good or bad, school starts tomorrow. So yeah, you should listen to us because we'll make you feel better about going to school tomorrow if you're a teacher, or going to school tomorrow if you're a student, or going to school tomorrow because you're somehow sad that your kid is going to school. But we all know the truth. You are jazzed that your kid is going back to school.
You can't fucking wait. You're like, yeah, little Laird, little Jacob, little Kylie, Kelsey, whatever, Emma.
Okay, yeah. Emma, good. That's a good one. Yeah, so there will be a lot of very happy parents tomorrow. As your problem becomes my problem tomorrow. Awesome. So that's fantastic. All right, so just so you know, fair warning: this podcast is not PG-13. We swear because people swear, and axolotls are fucking awesome, and that's what we are talking about today. So fuck yeah. So there you go. You can join us right here on the Facebook. You can join us at our website, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, YouTube, and Amazon Music. We would love it if you liked us, followed us, hit the bell, leave us a review, tell people you know about us, give us your feedback with our question and answers. You can comment right along with us, both on YouTube and on Facebook right now. You can when we're done, we'll throw this on Spotify with a poll, and you can ask Alexa to play us. So, okay. Fun fact. My mom and dad have moved in and they live with us now, which is great. They're in there watching their Pluto TV right now. And they're learning how to use Alexa. Yes. They didn't use it for a while because neither of them could remember the name, which of course immediately brought back images of the Alexa Silver from the Saturday Night Live ad. And the other is that mom yells at Alexa.
She yells at Alexa?
Well, because she hasn't quite gotten it down. So, like when you want Alexa to set a timer, you say, Alexa, set a timer for 60 minutes or something like that. Mm-hmm. So mom's like, set a timer, Alexa. Set a timer, Alexa. Set a timer. She hasn't quite gotten down that you gotta say Alexa first. And then so like the other day, the timer was going off and she's like, stop, Alexa, stop.
Jenny, she's not yelling at us anymore. She's yelling at a different person in her life.
I'm just like, because when we were doing our fantasy football draft today, she was yelling at Alexa. And I'm like, this is really funny. And I shouldn't be laughing at this, but it was funny. So I'm going to have to teach her to be more efficient with her Alexa use.
Alexa, you got to give her an Alexa script. Alexa, and then command. Alexa, command.
Yes. That's a good idea.
Not command. Alexa! Because Alexa's just like, what? Why are you yelling at me?
I just do what you tell me to do, but you got to tell me my name first.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I have a feeling I'm going to need to write down a lot of these little things that are taking place in my life right now.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Jenny.
Yep. So anyway.
Brilliant.
The latest and the greatest. Yes. All right. So yeah, again, you guys, you can support us for absolutely free. You don't even have to give us any money. All you got to do is like, follow, subscribe, leave a review on these places: Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, or wherever you consume your podcasts, because podcasts are a thing. That's all you got to know. Tell people that you know that they should follow us too, even if you don't like spend tons of time listening to us. Followers mean things, so follow us. There's so many things to follow. The good news is we're not like super crazy. We're not going to give you a bunch of bad advice about supplements on the internet.
I was going to say, we have no supplements to recommend.
We don't. We're not selling supplements. We're not a multi-level marketing campaign. We're not going to tell you not to drink water because juice and coconut water are better because it won't drown your cells. What else? Oh, we're not going to tell you to smear tallow on your face or eat tallow out of the jar because ew.
It's gross. Liver smoothies.
Right yeah, don't drink that. Okay. All right. So anyway, there's our spiel. Follow us because we're not crazy. So, okay. Just a little bit off. Okay. So let's talk about the smart, dumb, or fun stuff that happened this week. And I'm going to go first because mine is short and simple. We went to the farmer's market yesterday in Kalamazoo, which, by the way, BTW, I think it's one of the best farmer's markets in the state of Michigan. There, I said it. I'm not sorry. I bought the lemon sugar cookies from Sarkozy Bakery yesterday at the farmer's market. And I'm just going to say this right now. There might not be a better cookie ever. That cookie is so good. I mean, Sarkozy makes good cookies anyway, but that lemon sugar cookie is it's hard to find a cookie that cannot be improved with chocolate. The lemon sugar cookie from Sarkozy Bakery in Kalamazoo is that cookie. It's that good. I dream of it now. And all I really want, Ann Brothers, I want a ice cream sandwich with vanilla ice cream with those things as my cookie. You're welcome, America.
You know what you need, Jenny? You need a blueberry ice cream with the lemon cookies.
Oh. Ann Brothers, you are a thinking woman. Oh my gosh, I want that. Yeah, they're so good. They are the absolute perfect texture. They put just the right amount of sugar on that sugar cookie. It's the big grainy ones. The lemon is bright and delicious, and it's just the right. It's not a soft cookie, but it's just the right soft and crunchy together. It is the ultimate eating experience because it hits everything. It hits all the right notes as far as sweet and vanilla flavor. And at the same time, it hits that little crunchy thing that your brain's like, me likey crunchy.
Mm-hmm.
Bless you,
Yep.
Sarkozy Bakery. And my only regret is that I didn't buy 8 packages. I just bought 1. Stupid.
Mistake of youth.
It is the mistake of youth, and I should know better because I am no longer youth.
Exactly,
All
Jenny.
right. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Now you, Ann Brothers, now you.
Well, mine was both smart and fun. And Duncan and I, we hiked the DeQuinder Cut in Detroit, which goes from Eastern Market to the Detroit River. So we parked our car at Eastern Market and we took the DeQuinder Cut all the way to the Detroit River. Round trip, it's probably less than 4 miles. So it's a nice flat trail. It's an old railroad line, so it goes all the way. It was really nice. It was really nice because it's a green space. Most of it, 99.9% of it is green space. So, you don't get that a lot in urban areas. It's very lovely. Lots of people biking and walking. We got to the river. We walked a little bit on the river walk. We got some tasty beverages, and then we walked back and we had dinner at Full Measure Brewery in the Eastern Market. So,
Nice.
it was such a nice walk. I was like, I'm trying to talk my friend Amy into of Amy Terry, because you met Amy from one of our shows.
The Amy's. Yeah, we got the Amy's. Yes.
So Amy wants to do something. So I'm like, oh, let's do the DeQuinder Cut. So it's really worth, if you want to get to know Detroit a little bit better, it's a great place to walk. So I wanted to do it since I found out it existed, only a few months ago. And I was like, oh, I want to do this. Because they said, oh, it goes to the Eastern Market. I was like, oh, that's so far away. No, round trip, it was less than 4 miles. So, you maybe like
big cities, sometimes it's easy to think that a city is bigger than it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So,
cool.
So anyway, yeah, it was a great walkway, great walkway, bike way, walk your dog way, yeah. There you go.
Excellent. I love that. Sweet. Okay. So we did some smart, dumb, fun stuff this week for sure.
We did.
For sure. Indeed. Oh my gosh, look how cute he is.
Isn't he cute?
All right, guys. We're doing a AAA talk, and it's AAA for axolotls are awesome. Yes. I have 3 axolotl t-shirts, and I get a lot of feedback on my axolotl t-shirts. The one that I get the most feedback on is my axolotl who is playing a bass clarinet. So I get the most feedback on that one. So
yeah.
So, Ann, do you want to take the lead on this?
Sure.
Do it. All
All
right.
right. So today, today's program, we're going to be talking about what is an axolotl, because I know a lot of people who like axolotls, but they really don't know very much about them. So we're going to talk about what they are, where they come from, why they're awesome, where you can see them or visit them, thoughts on handling and keeping an axolotl, and more resources for axolotl stuff. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to, I talked to one person the other day that thought they were, you found them in the ocean. So, I was like, yeah. So we're going to talk about them today and why they're so awesome.
They are indeed awesome. All right.
So what is an axolotl? An axolotl is a type of salamander. And salamanders are amphibians, which means they can inhabit both aquatic or water and terrestrial land environments. So they're can be both. They usually have like a timeline where they spend their early part of their life in the water and then the later part of their life on the land. So they start out with gills and end up with lungs. They're vertebrates, which means they have a backbone. A lot of them can breathe out of their skin. Frogs and toads are also examples of amphibians. So salamanders, frogs, toads, all examples of amphibians. What makes axolotls a little different from other amphibians and other salamanders is that they keep their larval features like gills and remain in an aquatic habitat, and they never move to land. So, they kind of look like a really weird fish with legs, but they're not. They're not a fish with legs. They're an actual salamander. They just never change into a land-dwelling salamander. They stay in the water. And that frill around their head that looks so cute, that is actually their lungs. So, or their gills, those are their gills. So their gills are formed around their head. They're not like a fish. We see them on the sides of the neck, but that's their gills is So they're very good at filtering oxygen from the water with those nice gills.
Good job, you guys.
Yeah. The word axolotl comes from the Nahuatl language of the Aztecs, and it means water dog or water monster. So, based on their name, that might give you an idea that it's an ad from the Aztec language. It might give you an idea of where axolotls are actually found. So, there you go. Salamanders. They're just salamanders. Except instead of finding them under logs, you find them in areas of fresh water. But what areas of fresh water? That is the question. Where do they come from? They come from Mexico. So in the wild, they only live in freshwater lakes and canals of the Xochimilco Lake system around near Mexico City. So they have a very tiny habitat. You can go to other places in Mexico and you're not going to find the axolotl. You can only find them in this region of fresh water. So that kind of lends to axolotls are critically endangered. You can barely find them in the wild anymore. And this is one of the reasons is they have a very, very small habit or territory. So that's where you find these guys. You don't find them in oceans. You don't find them in the United States. You find them only in Mexico around the Xochimilco Lake system. So, and Mexico City
Really
is
interesting.
yeah, is southern Mexico. So, this is a very warm place anyway. And of course, with climate change, it's becoming warmer, which means bodies of water shrink. So, yeah, so there you go. Mhm.
Well, and Mexico City is a huge town, so
It
that
is.
doesn't help because it puts tremendous pressure on those lake systems. So
It does, because
yeah.
people want to be on the water. I mean, if you've ever been, if you like to hang out on a body of water, other people do too. Lake life, it's a thing. So yeah, and Mexico City is a metropolis. It's not just a big city; it is a metropolis. So you think about these cute little dudes hanging out in this urban environment. So there you go.
Well, it's urban, it's at altitude, it's heavily polluted.
Mhm.
Mexico City is not for the faint of heart. Now imagine being a little creature that, filters oxygen through its head, good luck with that.
Yeah. Good
Yeah.
luck with that indeed. So yeah, so there you go. That's where they come from. They're amphibians and they come from Mexico.
Love it.
And the Aztecs were like impressed with them. You're like, hey, look at these little water monsters. Okay, so why are axolotls so awesome? Well, they can regenerate a lost limb or gills or tail or even parts of their brain.
So heart, liver, lung, their
Yeah.
gills. Yeah.
Yeah, all of that stuff. And it's not just like starfish can regenerate like one of their arms, but starfish are invertebrates. They don't have any bones. So they're not growing back bone. Amphibians like this axolotl, they have an endoskeleton. They have a skeleton like we do, an inside skeleton. And so when they grow back certain parts of their body like legs or tails, they're growing back bone. And that's a very impressive thing. Now, all of it.
More.
Yes,
I have
Jenny?
more. I have more.
Yes.
The other thing that's cool is this. Okay, so if they decide that they want to, this is the really interesting thing because scientists they are fascinated with what the axolotl could do because it can regenerate, every part of its anatomy basically. But this is the cool thing. Like if you take a piece of skin, cut a graft of skin off of say like the back of an axolotl and attach it to its arm, the axolotl the skin, the nerve endings, the signature in the skin will tell the axolotl that this is where an arm will grow out of. So even though you've taken skin from a different part of the body, and if you graft it onto the arm, it'll grow another arm out of that graft.
Mm-hmm.
So not only can they regenerate, but their cells are so smart that they figure out that, oh, I'm in this part of the body, I need to grow an arm, which is crazy.
Now, the thing is like this ability was something that all of us could do as fetuses. We could all regenerate and grow parts of the body. That's what being a fetus and then being born into the world or hatched is like into a fully developed form. That's that same ability. It's just once we're hatched or born, that ability is gone. Once we reach our, the state of completion, we are done regenerating. But for some reason, axolotls never lose that ability. They can keep regenerating over and over again. So the thing is, you don't find very many axolotls in nature, but you find a ton of them in laboratories because of this ability. Scientists are trying to figure out how they do it. So maybe humans can do it, which I think could be a good thing, but then I also think could be a bad thing. If
can't help but think of like Oryx and Crake with the chicken bits that they're eating.
Yeah,
And
I'm like, oh,
ooh,
are we just gonna grow people with like 7 livers, and this tower?
so
Anyway,
that we can just use them to harvest their livers.
yeah, and of course I'm getting way ahead of myself and thinking that humans will only do things for evil
because that's what we do all the time.
all the time. Anyway, so they have this really amazing ability and that they can regenerate. Another cool thing about them is that they come in a variety of colors, just like, people and dogs and cats. And, it's like all kinds of colors, and they can be bred to be specific colors. And I put the blue one here because that's the most rare color in the wild, is a blue axolotl. Anyway, so yeah, they come in all these really cool colors. How they eat is also pretty interesting. They suck live prey into their mouth and eat them whole. So Duncan was asking me today if they're omnivores, and I'm like, no, they're carnivores. They eat little fish, insects, insect larvae, small crustaceans, whatever they can get into their mouth, and they don't have teeth, so they just swallow it whole. So they suck it in and swallow it whole.
Neat.
I know, right? And then, of course, they're awesome because they have the crazy cool look. They look like they're smiling at you. They've got that, all of their gills on top of their head. So it looks like, a wacky haircut. They kind of look like the troll dolls when we were little,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, yeah, they just, they look like they want to be your friend. And they look like, hey, I could have a cool friend that's an axolotl. So that's why they're awesome. They regenerate, come in a wide variety of colors. They can suck live prey into their mouths, and they have a crazy cool look. So there you go.
And if you believe the t-shirts that I owned, they can play the accordion and B, the bass clarinet. So there you go.
We have given them many talents. Most of the time they just hang out and sleep. But, hey, what are you going to do? You're an axolotl. You can do whatever you want. So
that's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So where can you visit them? Well, as I said, they're critically endangered in their natural habitat. And a lot of us aren't taking trips to Mexico City and hanging out at the Xochimilco, lake systems. So where can you see them? Well, where I live, you can see them at the Belle Isle Aquarium on Belle Isle. You can also see them at the Detroit Zoo. If you look up any place, I'm pretty sure Toledo Museum has them because they have a nice aquarium. Any place that has an aquarium facility will often have axolotls. And of course, they're very popular right now. So why not have some axolotls? Because people will be like, yeah, I want to see them. And then I want to buy all the axolotl, toys. So there you go.
T-shirts.
T-shirts, and they're critically endangered for the basic reasons a lot of animals are endangered: habitat loss, pollution, introduction of invasive species. So, same thing.
The truth is they probably won't survive the next 20 years. I mean,
probably not.
And the thing is, there's not really much anybody can do about that unless hearts and minds in Mexico City drastically change. And that usually doesn't happen because, progress over everything. So that's,
right.
So if you want to see an axolotl, it is very likely that the only place that you'll see them is in captivity.
Yeah, there's a lot of, like I said, labs that have them, zoos, aquariums that have them. They're I don't want to say a popular pet, but you see them more as pets. So that's probably where you'll end up seeing an axolotl, is not in its native habitat, which, as I mentioned, is very small. That's the other thing too. It's like you have habitat loss, pollution, introduction of invasive species, and they have this tiny habitat. So, once that habitat is decimated, where else are you going to put wild axolotls? So
I'm trying to think which evolutionary, because like there's different evolutionary pressures. I want to say that's bottleneck effect, but I can't
Mhm.
remember.
Yeah. So
you
it's
know,
just
yeah.
a bunch of things that we are from. It's nothing new. It's what we've been, it's why organisms have gone extinct since probably the Industrial Revolution age. So here we are. Like I said, Belle Isle Aquarium. Jenny and I last summer went to Belle Isle Aquarium and we saw the axolotls and we bought axolotl crap because,
So cute. Yeah,
it was
they're
so
just
cute.
yeah, they have a nice little collection of axolotls. They have a
Mhm.
nice little habitat for them there. So it was pretty awesome.
It was
So
cool.
yes.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. So
It was
that's
cool.
that's where you can go visit them. So check out, if you have an aquarium in your area or someplace, around you, or you don't live too far from Chicago or Toledo or Ohio, just any place that has an aquarium. See if they have axolotls. They probably do. That's a good place to see them. So
Right now I'm gonna look
Mhm.
I don't know how to spell aquarium. Aquarium
Aquarium. Because I'm
axolotls.
reading it.
There we go. The Shed Aquarium. No, Shed Aquarium in Chicago does not have any axolotls.
That's too
So
bad. That's too
I know.
bad.
So you
Because I
just gotta
know
have to
they
go to the
have
one on
like
Detroit.
freshwater areas. So it's not like they're
Yeah.
opposed to fresh water. But hey, Shed Aquarium, get on the ball, man. Get yourself some axolotls.
Be part of the solution. Shed
Mhm.
Aquarium.
Shed
So
Aquarium.
yes.
So thoughts on handling and keeping axolotls. And I put here in big letters, do not keep axolotls as pets.
I second
Um,
that account. I second
mhm,
that. Yeah.
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 I
I
have
have opinions on that.
I do too. So I have I don't think wild animals should be kept as pets. There's plenty of domesticated animals, cats and dogs and rabbits and fish that need homes. If you're dying to have some sort of animal as a pet, there are tons of them that don't have to come out of the wild. This is a wild animal. Even if it was bred in an aquarium, it's not domesticated. So do not take any wild animal and try to make it your pet. They don't like to be picked up. They don't like to be cuddled. Most amphibians breathe through their skin. Their skin is extremely sensitive, especially to like detergents, the sweat on your hand, lotions, anything like that. That can irritate it and keep them from breathing, keep them from functioning properly. And especially since their gills are like right here on the top of their head, the chances of you damaging them or hurting them is pretty high. So they don't like to be picked up and cuddled. Axolotls are nocturnal, which means when you want to see them doing stuff like eating and swimming, they're asleep. And when you're asleep, they're eating and swimming. So they're not,
They're partying like it's 1999, yo.
Exactly. So they are not great. You guys have you're passing like ships in the night. So yeah. Axolotls are not smiling at you. It looks like they have a smiley face on. They're not smiling at you. That is anthropomorphism. This is just the way their face looks. Their face looks this way. It probably helps with the way that they suck food in. So that's why they're
Instead of having resting bitch face, they have resting happy face. So
exactly
RBF, they have RHF, resting happy face.
Resting happy face. So don't get the idea that you guys are having a cosmic moment and that they're, it's like, oh, we want to spend our lives together. No, it's just the way their face looks. It's kind of like sometimes when my face looks like this because you're talking. Can't help the way my face looks when you talk.
What you're saying, Anne, is that axolotls don't give a fuck about you.
They do not. They really don't. I mean, my cat doesn't give a fuck about me, and he's sitting next to me right now. So, it's like, and he's domestic. So, yeah, they're not smiling at you. They don't like to be cuddled. Okay, most people don't realize this, but when amphibians breed, they make a ton of eggs. That's how they help establish populations in the wild, because they may lay 1,000 or 100 eggs, 1,000 eggs, but only like 2% of those eggs are going to survive into adult amphibians that will then reproduce. But if you have an axolotl, a couple axolotls in captive activity where it's safe and nothing is eating them, and they breed 200 eggs, that means pretty soon you have 200 axolotls, and so on. and so on and so on. And that has been a problem with some people that decided they're going to have, oh, well, we don't want it to be lonely. So we got two and we couldn't tell if they were boys or girls or a boy and a girl. And all of a sudden we have 1,000 axolotls. That does happen, folks. So yeah, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I have a tank that has all these. I'm like, what am I going to do with 1,000 axolotls? I don't know. You shouldn't have gotten them as a pet.
It's interesting because if you look up axolotl on the internet and you go to YouTube and you look for axolotl videos, a lot of the videos are about the rescue of abandoned axolotls and
Mhm.
trying to salvage axolotls that have just been neglected. And it's just heartbreaking. And it will make you not want to, have an axolotl, or B, let anybody you know in your life have an axolotl, because it really just sucks. It sucks. So,
Mhm. Yeah,
yeah.
it's not.
Because they, like any creature in the water, they require, those tanks have to be clean, they have to be
Mhm.
filtered properly, they have to be maintained properly, the water has to be the right temperature, it has to be the right
Mhm.
acidity. It's a lot of work that
Mhm.
a lot of people don't want to do. So they'll just let those tanks turn disgusting, and then your poor little axolotl is turning disgusting right along with it until they die.
Yeah,
So
because they got to breathe from that water, and if it's all gunky and algae filled and full of food that they couldn't eat because you overfed them, then you're going to have unhealthy, unwell axolotls. So yeah,
now
it takes a
imagine,
lot of
like,
work.
think of all the smoke we've had this summer because of the Canadian wildfires. Think of all that smoke. Now pretend that that's your tank and you're an axolotl living in that. So
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So they do take a lot. It seems like they're a low maintenance pet, but anything that lives in the water all the time is not a low maintenance pet. Fish are not low maintenance pets. Axolotls are not anything that like that. You have to. I mean, if you're not big on sifting your cat litter box, you definitely don't want an axolotl. It's going to take a lot more work. So
yeah.
and like I said, they breed like crazy. They put rabbits and hamsters to shame. They're like, hey. There you go. Instead of keeping an axolotl as a pet, I suggest that you collect axolotl toys, plushes, t-shirts, jewelry, all kinds of fun stuff. Why, I have this lovely Read a Lottle axolotl bookmark. I have my axolotl earrings. I have
Nice.
this awesome axolotl toy that my sister-in-law Liz gave to me. So it's a squishy axolotl toy looking so adorable. Okay.
You could also collect axolotl knowledge, because it's amazing how much people don't know about axolotls. So um, collect the knowledge, be a keeper of the knowledge of axolotls, because a lot of people are like, "What's that thing on your T-shirt?" I'm like, "Oh, is that Axolotl Joyride?"
It's Axolotl Joyride. It's an
Yes,
axolotl in an axolotl car. Very meta.
correct.
Yeah. So,
Very so meta. Yes.
and the thing is,
Yeah.
like, axolotls are cool in a tank. You're like, oh, that's cool. They look so cute. But you know what's more fun? The axolotl toys, because your axolotl won't do this. Your
No.
axolotl will not let you squeeze it until its eyes pop out. Your
No.
axolotl cannot save your page in your book. So,
No.
the toys are actually more fun than the live axolotls are, which are
Correct.
cool, but not fun.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah. The fact that that an axolotl has incredible regenerative qualities isn't necessarily fun, but it's cool.
But
You
it's
don't need
cool.
that in your tank. Yeah, that's not going to help you. Keeping
Right.
an axolotl in a tank is not going to help your finger grow back when you accidentally cut it off using the paper cutter at school. Okay, wait,
Yeah.
that's not me. I got them all still. I got them
Mhm.
all. Not me.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good
Yeah.
talk. So,
Mhm.
well, for now. All right. The school year's just getting started, so who knows what's going to happen. So,
Who knows, Jenny? Who
I
knows?
know. I
Anyway,
know.
so
Yep.
I think we can both agree that axolotls should not be kept as pets.
Agreed.
Mhm.
Yes.
So, more resources for axolotl stuff. So, Jenny, a lot of those videos that you saw were axolotls that were being rescued might have been Liberty Land Axolotl Rescue, a nonprofit dedicated to rescuing, rehabilitating, and finding new homes for captive bred axolotls. So, if you're interested in, like, donating time or money to this organization, that would be a great way to do it, because there's a lot of people that if I didn't even care if you're getting a dog or a cat, if you've never had an animal before, you better do a ton of research before you bring an animal into your life that you're going to have to take care of. And then and then make your decision, because you shouldn't make a decision until after you've done all of your research. And I would like to think that after doing some research on axolotls, keeping them, you would talk yourself out of it. But in case you can't, and then you decide you don't want your axolotl anymore, Liberty Land Axolotl Rescue, or you love axolotls and you want to see them treated well, you can volunteer your time or your money to this fine organization. Now, there's a couple of international organizations, Conservation International, the World Wildlife Fund. They both have sections of their organization that do axolotl research and habitat restoration. So if you want to still be able to see axolotls in the wild someday, these would be organizations that you can donate to, because they are working on larger habitat issues that would benefit the axolotl. And then if you want to get involved, and you can't do this with axolotls here in the United States, but if you're interested in any animal that is, a turtle, a lizard, a snake, frogs, amphibians, frogs, toads, salamanders, it's called Herp Mapper. And it's a citizen science project that allows people to share their amphibian and reptile observations to help scientists study and protect wildlife in their region. So if you're interested in these animals in general, and you wanted, and they often do this with bird counting, it's a very similar thing. When you see like certain reptile or amphibian wildlife, you can report this, and places like the DNR and other smaller organizations and larger organizations like the World Wildlife Fund and Conservation International will use this information to help map out where these organisms are and how they can be protected. So these are more resources for axolotl stuff. And of course, if you want to find out about more axolotl information, YouTube, that's a great place to start. You can watch some awesome axolotl information videos.
Agreed. So, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Holy moly, that was Fast and Furious, Ann Brothers.
Well, hey, they're an awesome animal, and I like talking about them.
I know, right? I do too. Well, that's pretty much all we're going to bring you today on axolotl stuff. It's the tip of the iceberg. We'll just say that. But well done, everybody. Thank you for spending the last nearly 52 minutes with the brothers sisters. Today we talked about a bunch of stuff, and we talked about the awesomeness, the awesome axolotl. We talked a little bit about where you can find them, where they come from, what they are. Why they are so incredibly awesome. And of course, we talked about why maybe you should not own an axolotl, why you should just go visit them at local aquariums. You might want to call in advance just to find out if they're there. You can go, if you're in Michigan, you can go to the Belle Isle Aquarium or the Detroit Zoo. So yeah, thanks for spending the hour with us. And remember, we want to hear from you. If you've ever spent time with axolotls, we'd like to know that. If you have an axolotl, we'd like to know more about how you're doing and how you're taking care of that axolotl. Answer our poll questions. Please give us your questions, concerns, comments, and confessions. Yes, you can confess that if you have an axolotl. We won't judge you too harshly, but we'll judge a little bit because that's who we are. So just a tiny bit. We're Gen X.
Just a tiny bit.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Remember, you can support our work with the Brothers Sisters for free. All you have to do is like, follow, subscribe, leave a review on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. Put the word out, you guys. Share with your friends and family. We are trying to build the Brothers Sisters into a place where you can safely learn things about stuff. And it's not a bunch of propaganda or multi-level marketing. Again, we're not selling you supplements ever. Okay.
We're not.
I know, right?
You can shred more metal.
That's right. Dude, just drink our protein shake and you'll be super ripped in no time. Except we don't have one. Okay. Yeah. All right. Join us next week when we take the day off for Labor Day. So that's right, you guys. We will have some encore presentation of the Brothers Sisters for you to listen to, and we will be back Sunday, September 6th, and we're going to talk about our trip to the Michigan Maritime Museum. So we are going there on the 5th. We get to ride the boat. We get to visit. We get to do cool stuff. So we're going to tell you all about our adventure at the Michigan Maritime Museum, and that's going to be Sunday / the week of September 6th. So it'll be awesome. So in the meantime, let's do this.
Yeah.
There it is. That's right. I turned on the outro music, which means we are getting ready to leave you all That's right. I'm going to get rid of that and put our sweet faces on there. Correct. That's right. I'm Janice Brothers, and with me is my sister.
And brothers.
And her awesome, bulgily-eyed axolotl. We want you to get out there. We want you to do something smart, do something dumb, do something fun. We're out of here.